Welcome to Eric Unfiltered. I am your host, Eric Dickinson, where I am always caffeinated, medicated, and never regulated. Here I discuss news, politics, relationships, and a whole lot more. I'm an unfiltered Gen Xer from Connecticut. Do you like inappropriate jokes, naughty memes, and late night drunken posts on social media? If you do, then give me a follow on X at Eric Not Sorry or on Facebook and Truth Social at Eric Unfiltered Podcast. I also post there when new episodes are released. Thank you for checking me out. Now let's get on with the show. Welcome back. How is everybody out there doing today? Have you gotten all of your shopping done yet? Time is a ticking. Time is a wasting. All right, before I get into the real stories today, real quick, congratulations, Waterbury. Your water is back on. If you were unaware or did not tune in to my last episode, the city of Waterbury here in Connecticut had a major water main break that left over 100,000 residents without water. That's right, no drinking water, no toilet flushing, no showers. Yeah, it was kind of a mess. It was down, 4 or 5 days? Something like that. But it is all back up and running, and the boil warning notice has been lifted. So, all right, things are back to normal in Waterbury. All right, let's get into the real story. Then it has some twists and turns. So I am sure by now everybody is aware about the shooting at Brown University. And I know I covered it last episode, but again, I'm sure all of you are very well aware of it. There was a shooting at Brown University that unfortunately left 2 students dead and 9 students injured. I believe it was 9. And obviously the person they were not caught. They were at large. There was a huge manhunt. And then they did find him. However, he took his own life before law enforcement got there. So I know a lot of people are going, why did this happen? That's what I'd like to know. But this story has some real weird twists and turns. And I don't know if we will ever know why. Because I know last episode I covered maybe, because we didn't know who it was, I thought maybe it could have been a jilted lover. People on the internet were going, well, it was a targeted attack because the girls are Republican. And it's like, okay, we don't know. And we have a kind of, in my opinion, we have more questions than answers right now. Because like I said, this thing takes some really weird twists. So I am going to get into, let's see, what happened here. Let's see. Authorities identified the shooter as, I don't care, a 48-year-old Portuguese national and former Brown University graduate student in physics, enrolled briefly from 2000 and 2001, withdrawing in 2003 without a degree. He was a U.S. legal permanent resident with a last known address in Miami, Florida. So, okay, this individual went to Brown University in 2000 and 2001. It's been a couple of years. He did not graduate. But then, okay, so on December 18th, police found him dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound in a rented storage unit in Salem, New Hampshire. This individual went from Rhode Island all the way back up to New Hampshire and then unalived themselves. Well, okay, I'm not sad about that. Still don't know why they did this. But here's the real weird twist. Authorities also connected him to the December 15th fatal shooting of MIT physics professor Nuno Loureiro in Brookline, Massachusetts. This person and Loureiro had attended the same university in Portugal years earlier. So, okay, we have this Portuguese national that 20 some odd years ago attended Brown, shows up there, shoots up a room, kills people, leaves, goes to another state, offs themselves. But meanwhile, days before the shooting at the school they went and murdered somebody they also attended a different school with? What? I don't want to buy a bag of anything that guy was on. That is freaking weird. And I remember that MIT professor. I saw things popping up on X a few days before the university shooting, and I was going, is this real? Like, because again, it's the internet. You know how the internet is. Like, people were talking about how like he's he's in physics and he's doing nuclear stuff. You know, the internet was talking all kinds of crazy stuff like, well, he's helping advance fusion energy. And, if fusion energy takes hold, then the oil companies, it's like, okay. And I just sat back and I rolled my eyes. I'm like, this is probably fake. And now, no, it's real. There was an MIT nuclear, physics professor that this guy killed. And I'm like, what? How I don't get it. Obviously, I don't get something broke in this guy's head, and I'm curious on what all of these connections are. I know, again, on the internet, some people are like, so literally for days they had no information, and suddenly they exactly knew who it was and right where he was. I don't know. I don't know. People always speculate and point fingers. I've watched enough First 48 to know that sometimes the key comes in and unlocks the case. I'm not going to be one of those internet conspiracy theorists and go, well, Chief Wiggum came in and nothing is. This is what we're being told. There's this crazy guy that was 48 years old. 20-something years ago, he went to Brown, never graduated. For some reason, showed up and shot up the place. Murdered this other guy he went to school with years ago. And then went unalived himself. I don't know. That's the story. I can't make heads or tails of it. It makes no sense. None of it makes sense. Crazy. Am I right? Crazy. Did I leave any details out? Have you heard anything? If you have heard something weird, let me know. I'll take a look. I'll look into it. Freaking weird. Okay, on to the next. Tragically, this week, the sports world lost a legend. NASCAR legend Greg Biffle tragically died along with his wife and children. Sad. In a plane crash. I went online and did a quick search on Greg Biffle's career and just I wanted to do a quick read. Do a quick read about him. I used to watch a lot of NASCAR back in the day. I remember watching the race where Dale Earnhardt tragically died, and honestly, on that day, after that, I was just I fell out of favor of watching. But tragically, Greg Biffle, let's see. Born in Vancouver, Washington, Biffle began racing on short tracks in the Pacific Northwest. He gained national attention in the mid-1990s Winter Heat Series, where his performance led former NASCAR champion Benny Parsons to recommend him to team owner Jack Roush. Those are some big names in NASCAR. Biffle's NASCAR career highlights include Craftsman Truck Series from 98 to 2000. In 1998, he won Rookie of the Year, and in 2000, he was a champion. He had 5 wins that year. Busch Xfinity Series in 2001, 2002. In 2001, he also won Rookie of the Year, and in 2002, champion, first driver to win championships in both Truck and Xfinity Series. That is a hell of an accomplishment. A lot of big names in NASCAR, and he was the first one to do that. Dang. All right, Cup Series 2002 to 2016. He was a full-time plus part-time returns, 19 wins and 515 starts, primarily driving the number 16 Ford for Roush Fenway Racing. Career best season was in 2005 with 6 wins and runner-up in points behind Tony Stewart. He amassed 56 total wins across NASCAR's 3 national series, was named one of NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers in 2003, and was a NASCAR Hall of Fame nominee. In later years, Biffle competed part-time in the Truck Series and in the Cup in 2022, and became widely recognized for humanitarian efforts, including extensive helicopter flights delivering aid after Hurricane Helene in 2024, earning the NMPA Myers Brothers Award in 2024 and the NCMA Philanthropy Award in 2025. Tragically, on December 18th, 2025, Biffle, age 55, and his wife, Christina, son Ryder, daughter Emma, and 3 others died in a private jet crash at States Field Regional Airport in North Carolina. What a hell of a career and a tragic ending. Absolutely tragic ending. That is so sad. So much loss this near Christmas. Doesn't it? It's supposed to be a time of joy, isn't it? Rest in peace, Greg, and family. I mean, and everybody. God, it sucks. I got to find something that's happy. I have to look up something that's happy. Honestly, that's all I was going to cover. But lately, it's just been such a Captain Bring Down. And I got to pause, and I'm going to look up something that's going to hopefully get you in the feels or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll look up a dad joke. Give me a sec. Okay, I found a story that should warm your heart, because this is pretty cool. In Topeka, Kansas, R.E. Tuck Duncan, a 74-year-old attorney, honored his late wife, Kathy Allen Duncan, by renting a vacant storefront in the city's West Ridge Mall to publicly display her lifelong collection of Snowman figurines. Kathy, who passed away in September of this year, at the age of 73 from complications of diabetes, had collected roughly 1,000 snowmen over 5 decades, starting from her grandmother's influence. She began creating elaborate holiday snowman villages in their home in 1974, shortly after marrying Tuck, evolving from a simple card table setup to intricate scenes featuring snowmen skiing, caroling, working as firefighters or nurses, or even lounging on beaches, despite the irony. After her death, Tuck decided to build one last grand display, not just for family, but for the entire community to enjoy and remember her joyful spirit. With help from family members, he transformed the second-floor mall space near stores like Petland into a winter wonderland, complete with detailed villages, cotton snow, and Christmas trees adorned with snowman ornaments, and tables showcasing themed items like quilts and calendars. The exhibit, free and open to the public during mall hours this holiday season, has touched many as a poignant tribute to Kathy's love of Christmas and bringing smiles to others. How freaking awesome is that? So if you're in Topeka, Kansas, go check it out. Go say hi to Tuck. Wish him a Merry Christmas. All right. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Hope that gave you the feels. I got a couple of tingles in me. All right. I hope you have a good rest of your day whenever you listen to this. Whenever it is. I don't care whenever you listen. Thank you for tuning in. If you like the episode, give it a share and all that good stuff. And until next time, keep being you.